we're going to see Vice President Vance here pretty shortly. We're getting a sense that they're leading up to the introductions.
Yeah, they're doing a little tap dancing as they get ready for the president to arrive, and interesting to see them set up those executive orders on stage there. Just get a quick thought from you guys as we watch this. Jessica?
Well, I think this is what a lot of first-time Trump voters wanted to see. They like the gimmicks, they like the memes, they like the entertainer side of this. And I think that these moments, whether it's in a garbage truck or a UFC fight, really flew in the face of the Democrats' argument that this was an existential threat to the Republic or that he's Hitlerian, right? They said, no, he's just a guy who's going to sign a bunch of EOs at a desk.
He's just the guy giving us French fries at the window.
And I think it's a bit of fun on a day like this. I understand the history, of course, matters a lot. The gravity of the moment, I certainly feel that being able to participate in even the coverage of something like this. But it also brings a bit of his entertainer past. He's a showman. And it's the full integration of a person who's approaching 80 years, right? He's lived many lives. And ending on, not like he's passing away, but culminating in being able to win the presidency twice in non-consecutive terms is pretty major.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
Let's
I hope you all heard it.
Let's listen to that in the back. Getting ready and anticipation in Capital One Arena. This has been quite a day. It is history in the making. It is really America at its greatest. You know, a call to our history, a call to our greatness. We talked about it with Britt. It is just special that all these rituals happen time and time again, and President Trump is taking this torch and agreeing, as America has told him, to turn the page.
And he's leading a much more diverse GOP than we saw back in 2012. It's a working class party that has embraced laborers, blue-collar workers, black voters, Hispanic voters, young voters. His son Barron encouraged him to sit down for a lot of these podcasts, which expanded him to a whole new audience of low-propensity Republican voters that they brought out to make this coalition. And he says it will be a golden era for the United States of America. And I think we turn the page on Obama and Biden.
It's always a pleasure to be alongside you for these big historic moments, and this is another one. executive actions. I'll be back at 6 o'clock for a special report, and we've got you covered all the way through, all the balls and everything.
We look forward to all of that, and Brett, always good to be with you, and great panel that we have had throughout the day, and we're grateful to all of everybody behind the scenes as well. That it's always the United States of America, as Britt Hume said, it is a very special moment for the country as we watch this transition of power.
Thanks for watching our special coverage of President Trump's inauguration, the 47th president of the United States. The 5, live from D.C. is next. We'll take you back to Capital One Arena and play us out.
Protect, and defend. Preserve, protect, and defend. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States. So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
45 is now 47. Donald Trump getting sworn into office as President of the United States, completing a political comeback unparalleled in history. And earlier, during his second inaugural address, the president declaring America's decline is over and the golden age of America has just begun.
The golden age of America begins right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. America's decline is over. Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government. We will move with purpose and speed to bring back hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken. I am with you. I will fight for you. And I will win for you. We're going to win like never before.
We are following all the developments, but we will take it around the table for as long as we can. Start with you, Jesse, and your observations from today.
This was a man who's met his destiny. He said he was saved by God in order to make America great again and usher in a new golden age. And the concentration of power that you saw in that room, probably the greatest concentration of power since the Constitutional Convention, made viewers and the country believe it was possible because they were all getting along, and you saw the potential in this country when people do get along. At one point he said a tide of change is sweeping America and sunlight is pouring over the entire world. And he said something necessary, and a lot of people maybe didn't like it on the other side, but he said the Democrats and Joe Biden have betrayed this country. And that was the cold, hard truth, and it needed to be said to his face, because we don't fear that anymore. It was probably the most ambitious speech ever given by a human being. We're going to plant the stars and stripes on Mars. We're going to make America healthy again. We're going to seal the border. We're going to beat inflation. We're going to save our cities. And a lot of people watching felt that it was possible today. A lot of the times you hear politicians run their mouths and you're like, all right, this is just another political speech. This wasn't a political speech. This was a speech made by a hero. And he says the ambition is the lifeblood of a great nation. Talks about the spirit of the frontier, the call to adventure, and tied it back to the history of this great country. We came and we conquered and tamed the wilderness, tamed fascism, communism, and split the atom. So at one point he said, I stand before you as proof that nothing is impossible, that the impossible is what we do best. This was the hope and change speech that Obama never really delivered on. When they said, Barack and Joe, they wanted to fundamentally change America, this agenda is about fundamentally changing America because we're in transformational times. The media is changing. We're changing how we feel about our health. We're changing our economy. We're changing technology. The map is changing. Literally, he said, we want to take back Panama. And it was the most inspiring speech he's ever given that I've personally ever heard. And it's an exciting time to be alive.
Greg, the one thing, though, that really didn't change is that throughout the campaign, ever since he announced his run, he said, these are the issues I'm going to work on. And then today he's like, and I'm going to deliver on those very same issues.
Yeah, no, he never wavered. During the speech, as I was listening, all I was doing was looking at Joe. You know, watching him as 4 years, the last 4 years was handed to him like a sizzling Trump steak. This wasn't an in-your-face Harold. It was an in-your-face and up-your-ass Joe. It was humiliating. But I think this event is different because it's not just about Trump. It's about everyone involved who had a personal journey that paralleled Trump. Because if you supported him, you were thrown into battle. So this was like a convergence of stories into one victorious moment. Everybody involved in this felt it. It felt bigger than a typical inauguration. And Trump took it away from the left versus right dichotomy by using 2 words that everyone needed to hear: common sense, right? It's something that we lost under Biden when you looked at the border and the crime and the trans hysteria. It was an attack on common sense, and we needed the middle ground. We needed to go from wanting to deciding, and Trump was there. His speech was very clear. I saw how the New York Times portrayed it as grim, and it was because he was doing so much that was literally in your face. But that's what happens when you push a country too far. Not only did you push Americans too far under the Biden administration, if they pushed back, you would be punished by cancellation. And that's another thing that Trump did. He took the fear of cancellation off the table. You could share the risk. Everybody shared the risk. Musk, RFK Jr., Tulsi, all these people came in because they realized if you shared the risk, they can't come after everybody. So daddy's home. And they may be pissed, but America couldn't be happier.
Judge, one of the things that was pretty interesting too was that he gave a speech after the speech. So, and I think it seems to me that he's having a great time.
I think he's not only having a great time, I think he feels the energy that America is feeling today. You know, when he talks about a golden era or a golden age, you know, and a new dawn, and he talks about Liberation Day, so many of us feel the same way. We felt that way on the Wednesday, November 6th, when we realized that we're going to have a president who is not just a president. This man is a man who was delivered to the Oval Office in spite of everything that they did to him, because he was a populist president. He reflected what the people wanted. The people wanted to make sure that there was no more censorship, that there was no more suppression of free speech. The people want the southern border closed. You know, the people want the Panama Canal.